Wappy wappy.
No, I was pointing mine to.
I thought
To
you
clap.
wanted to do something.
She was
Open mic.
It's a new thing. Yeah.
Some kind of
Cheers! That's how we start.
Hey,
Hey.
ladies.
Ladies.
What were you were talking about American culture
Yeah, we
and
were.
it's a need for celebrity, which is coming
Well,
out of the Oscars,
right. The
Yeah,
Oscars
because
were yesterday.
yesterday.
I did not watch.
Well,
You guys
for
watched it.
people who are watching, the Oscars were yesterday.
Right. And Americans were saying
this
that.
is gonna air like a few
No,
weeks
a
from
few
now,
weeks, but yeah, we're getting closer.
Yeah.
That gap
when
is
people
closing.
are gonna
Yeah.
care about. Nobody cares about the Oscars.
Nobody cares
anymore.
about the Oscars.
I watched because of
No, but
Conan,
it led to this.
this.
I think like a more meta conversation about this celebrity culture or cultist culture, like
Celebrity
it's right
worshipping.
In the culture, it's right. The word cult right in there. The word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never. Wow.
Our
it doesn't-
culture. But no, I think there's probably a shared root in there somewhere. But like you were talking about how like even post election people are just like Kamala Harris. It was like
Yeah.
like when I see people or like Joe Biden, they really like
They love
put
their.
it was like it's these are we make our
Their
politicians
identity.
parental
Yeah.
figures.
It's their identity. They cannot live without it. That's how it
Yeah.
feels.
Well, it's like an attachment issue. It's like mommy and daddy failed me, so mama and daddy government is gonna be that thing for me. Yeah, and maybe celebrities at one point. Like I talked about once about like wanting Arnold Schwarzenegger to had been my father. Like I that was a dream of mine, and I think yeah, you eventually outgrow that, but then what I'm seeing is that it's become, instead of like having crushes on celebrities, we develop these crushes on politicians, like this parental figure that's going to kind of save us rather than, I don't know. So that's what's breaking down now, because now people are seeing past that and they're realizing, oh, the government's not actually here to help me. In fact, they're actively working to poison me, keep us small, keep us poor. So,
Yeah.
gotta-
Well, I think now, for some people at least, we're starting to realize, and I'm hoping that's the case, that we are all programmed to give our power away. So whether it's like, you want to be like celebrities, you want to be like the politicians, you there's always this like exterior force. With religion, it's also like, the divine is always outside of us, right? And it reflects in society as well, where there's always that bigger person, that figure, that external power that you have to look up to, that you have to follow, that you have to yeah. So slowly, hopefully, when all this crumbles and goes to shit, we're gonna realize that we can harness the power is within, basically.
Right. Yeah. So like we see this rise in celebrity culture, and then that became like the rise of political celebrity culture, because when the organized religion, more or less, people got smart enough to move away from that, but we just replaced it with something different. So it's just a new form of a cult or new form of externalizing our power.
It's crazy. Even in the spiritual arena, it's like the angels, the channel, the ETs, this civilized. It's never like you. Like
That's scary.
Right,
If
yes.
my success or the joy in my life is dependent on me. Oh, wait a minute. That's
I have to work harder. It's harder.
Or if
to-
I
to-
end up
to-
not being happy, I ultimately it's down to me who's but yeah.
Yeah, you have to do the work to be able to look inward and love and find what it takes to live and
yeah.
you
Well,
know.
then you have to look at yourself. And do the work.
a lot of people don't want to look.
No,
they cannot
that's
sit by
scary.
themselves. So
where's
that's why
that
they're
coming from?
looking.
Why is it so hard?
They're looking outward for people to save them.
Maybe because we're programmed to always look outwards to like, first of all, we're born, we have parents, right? So there's sort of like that report that gets instilled in us that
By
nature.
Protectors. Yeah, they
That's
have to.
nature.
We're not capable.
Yeah.
At some point, you have to move on from the parents.
Right. So
Yeah.
in that relationship, so we are born already with that. So if this doesn't, I guess, progress in a natural way where you of course you depend on your parents to survive, period, at the beginning, right? And then you move away from that relationship. But as humans, I think, okay, already we have that predisposition, so we're already come into this world and our power is given to exterior entities, like someone outside of us. And then it goes on with all the programming where then it's like your teacher, and then it's, it's I don't know, and then the religion, if you're in a, depending on which family you grow in, like there's the exterior powers, and then there's the boss, the kids, the it's always somewhere, somebody or something outside of you. So then when comes time to be like, oh, no, 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 it's all on you, of course it's scary.
A foreign idea.
It's like, what? Yeah. But isn't it the truth, though? Isn't it all on us?
I think that's where we're at. We're lucky because that's kind of a new thing for humanity, at least in the history that we're has been known to us. Like but yeah, that's the new thing. That's the next level in our consciousness is that autonomy. But yeah, it's like it was modeled to us because our parents offloaded their autonomy to government or religion. Like that. How were we to know anything else? It's interesting this expression, main character syndrome. Have you heard your?
Yeah, I heard about it, but what?
Well, I've heard it used in like a derogatory way. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that person has main character syndrome. It's like, who else is going to be the main character of my life? But it's like kind of like, oh, look at her thinking she's a main character. It's like, if I'm not the main character of my life, who is?
Yeah, I need other people to be the main characters
Of
in
my
my life. Like inviting other people to just make decisions on my behalf.
I never heard of that, but that's very interesting. So that, like, meaning it's like you're selfish.
Right. So like in films, you have main characters and
Yeah.
you have side characters, and then you have background actors who don't even speak. And in video games, you have NPCs, the non-player characters,
like
and you have
the
main
hero.
characters. So yeah, we have like those layers. But this idea that I guess it's just how you perceive life. If you perceive life as kind of this linear thing, if there's a person who wants to stick out and wants to stand out, we're kind of like, look, like there's a get down here. How dare you feel special?
Yeah.
How dare you feel, like you kind of want to pull that person down. Like if someone, you don't want to get too high because your head's going to get chopped off. So we kind of learn to like stay small, and society around us kind of keeps that. But at the same time, we do put
Idolize people.
pedestal. Yeah.
It's just it's just very polarized. At the same time, you don't want people to be the main character, but you follow people who are the main
themselves, yeah.
characters. Like what?
Very contradictory. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you view life as each of us is the center of our own universe, and you're the center of your universe, and my universe isn't more special than your universe, like we're all, of course, if
Equal.
I'm not the main character of my universe, then what am I doing here? Like that's very NPC.
Yeah, you hand in your power to other people. Just
That's exactly it. Yeah.
what? No.
So
Do
be
whatever
the
you
main
want.
character
Yeah.
of your life. Like if you don't have main character energy, that's an opportunity to look in and be like, okay, why? What's keeping me from wanting to be the main character of my own life?
Well, do you think maybe because it's been very negative to be selfish?
Of course.
So it's been seen as something so like you're bad, like that's a selfish person, that's a negative trait, right?
It depends how you see it. Like being selfish and being just like you have your own power to do whatever you want with your life. It's not necessarily selfish.
Well, yeah, I mean that's definitions in a way, but
Yeah.
if always like being selfish is seen as something negative, or having the main, I had never heard that expression, but yeah, the main character syndrome or whatever comes back again to like, oh, give your power away, Don't look at your own needs. Don't put yourself first. Don't prioritize yourself.
I'm gonna scotch it around your head.
I want to have a contraption.
A little beer holder.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's good that we're coming out of that, and coming out of like celebrity worshiping, and coming out of government trusting, and
But it's funny how, like, in an individualistic society, you would look at people who are like, oh, you should not be there. It's like very contradictory. Like
and
Western society is like you
very
are.
schizophrenic.
It's like it's very yeah. It's very like you should not count on the government. You have everything you do. You have to do it by yourself. You have to grind. You have to do this. You have to become successful or rich. You're the one who can do it. At the same time, they want you to not be.
Bow down to God, give to
Yeah,
the church.
it
and,
just
yeah,
doesn't
or
make sense.
vote for this party, or yeah, it's like rugged individualism, but also don't stand out too much.
Yeah.
Don't go out two of the lines. Don't work outside two of those lines. Because too far out of those lines, because that's trying to find the balance. But I'm thinking, like, is there just like a slight discernment? Because like when we think about personality disorders, there's one called histrionic personality disorders, where you will make a scene in order to be seen. Like you will cause drama. You'll show up and really sparkly, and it's coming from a place of fear and insecurity. So maybe we're in a time now where it's like, yes, have main character syndrome, but don't do it at the expense of other people. Like you're
Yes.
secure in yourself. You're not the main character and insisting that everyone else have to be the side characters of your life. You're a main character in your life, but you encourage people around you to also be main characters of their own life. Like maybe there's like that kind of distinction, or it's from a more healthy, respectable, magnanimous place rather than just from
Like
a place
power,
of insecurity.
yeah, or like you're above everyone else. Like celebrities are like that. They're better
Well,
than
that's
they
what our
are.
sub-
Like they
our
have
subject
fans,
culture.
and the fans like they're scared of touching you because are they allowed to touch you? Are
Writers
they
where
allowed to
people
look
on
at you
set
in
are
the
not-
eyes?
yeah,
You know, are
exactly,
they
that kind of
allowed
stuff.
to just even like take your photo? Or see, it's not balanced, so it's very unhealthy, and people accept it. Like, God,
Because they're not willing to be the main character in their own life, so they're off put or whatever, unloading or yeah. But I think is it Jung talks about it. There's like this idea of people love the idea of freedom. They talk about it, but when you actually need to actualize it, it is a scary thing. And so that from the worm versus God, like you're on that scale of like you're the worm, you're in that space. That same thing could also be God, but that's a scary thing to feel like my fate is actually I am responsible for what happens to me, and that's not a comfortable place to be. And so you stay down in the dirt and be that worm. But
Wow. We're now becoming butterflies. So
flying.
yeah. Uh, but okay, so you guys had a great weekend.
oh yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah.
We went dancing.
Dancing,
Surprise! We
snowshoeing.
went dancing.
How is
I really shake
snowshoeing?
things up and try
Snowshoeing
dancing.
was the weather was a bit like very windy, but it was fun. It was
I
nice.
find it very
Yeah.
refreshing. I'm
Yeah.
finding with the cold plunges, my tolerance for like warmer temperatures and colder. It was like it's nice. I feel like I'm pushing out my limits of what I find comfortable. So I'm comfortable in a wider range of environments. So it was nice. The wind was cold, but it felt good, and it wasn't that
No,
bad.
no, it wasn't that bad. No, it was really good. I was sore. Like yesterday, I woke up and I was like,
So you get a little bit of a workout
yeah,
out there.
we're walking with the snow on the snow, and sometimes it's deep, sometimes it's not. So it's like walking on sand basically. So you get a good
It's a
exercise.
workout.
Yeah, and you're fighting the wind. It's
Yeah, working
It
kind of
felt
different
like we're
muscles.
in Russia or the tundra, like nothing on site. It's just
Hear the wind
open
over the
space, and it's beautiful, and a beautiful dog.
Yeah, beautiful
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, beautiful
Not too far
house.
from the city. It was really
Very
lovely.
good food.
Hmm
The guests were nice as well.
So hopefully we're
Good
going to be
fun.
Jenny and I are going to co-organize something for
Like a-
in May for instead of a Fungi Friday, a psychedelic Saturday. And
Love that.
Nice.
Yeah.
so we'll keep you
Looking
posted
forward
when
to
we know.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Sounds
and-
great.
Yeah. And dancing
How about
was
you?
fun.
Did
Yeah.
you didn't end up not going to the gongs?
No. So, yeah. Long story short, I couldn't leave for my part, so I didn't go up north for the recording of the gongs. My kids are off this week, right? It's March break, and they took their vacation on Friday. So vacation mode started on Friday for the kids, and honestly, like I've been expressing it, this past couple of months have been challenging. They have been challenging, but in a way where it's an ebb and flow. But the lowest points, that jello feeling. That's just like I can't move. My batteries are really depleted. I really need to cater to my energy levels, and that was a challenge for me because I don't like being tired, like, or not being able to do what I want. Like I want to go dancing. It's like, no, I want to go dancing. You're tired. I never like.
What is this feeling?
What is
This
it? What do you
my
mean?
friends are
Like,
going out dancing
yeah,
and I
like,
don't want to go. What the heck is this?
and I resist and that, yeah, it spins me. When I resist being tired, it spins me into like these like deep trenches. Anyway, so I had to deal with that, but I feel great now.
Were you able to rest then on Friday night then?
I did. I rest. I passed out at 8 p.m.
You were exhausted. You sent that text and then
Pretty much. Really, I was like, okay, I gotta make a call, and I like, do I go? Do I not go? Um, Decided to be like, okay, it's not reasonable to go. I could barely move.
yeah, it's not fun. If you're tired, it's so much fun. Although that club has couches along.
Right, but,
you
you
could have
know.
just been with me on that.
I was like, but I've done that. That time of my birthday, I usually am always dancing, but like there was a couch, and I don't know, for some reason I was really high. I really needed to go sit down, but the security guard won't let you like be like,
Right.
like
What's
dream.
going on? Are you
Like, are you okay?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And then like 10 minutes
10 minutes
later,
later.
are you okay? Dude.
Because people take so much drugs, they
I-
don't want to have
No,
people
there's
passing
just
out on a
someone
couch.
Just vibing and someone fully not there.
Yeah, the other day I was just dancing. I closed my eyes and I'm like this, and security's like, "Are you okay?" And people around me, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm just lying in my space." But it's nice to see that people worry and
Yeah, I mean,
they
the people
care. They
care.
care. They care. Yeah.
You're
They
safe.
care. They care.
Yeah, at least they care. They care. So yeah, I passed out. Saturday was I woke up feeling a lot of pressure in my body, and I don't know about you guys. Do you cry? Like,
I am-
is it
I
easy
am
to cry for
crier.
you?
I am crier.
It used to be. I not really anymore.
I
rarely
get
cry.
emotional with silly stuff now. I don't know.
I get teary eyed, like if I see something that gives me the feels and whatever. Like I'm easily teary eyed, like, but I don't go through like crying sessions for myself. Like I haven't done those in a long time. And even when I was going through like, the burn of it, like really tough times. I remember I was going through talk therapy, and then my therapist was like, "Well, are you crying or whatever?" She's like, "I'm like, I don't know." It's like I start, but then like there's a defense mechanism that comes and says, "Well, if you let those floodgates open, like you're gonna drown in a pool of tears. So suck them back in." And I'm like, I want to just bawl and like ugly cry and like,
Did you?
my eyes like that. Saturday morning I did. My therapist back then used to tell me like, well, like watch sad movies, get you going. And stuff.
Soften up
Yeah,
those
like
tear
it makes
ducts.
you, yeah, exactly. Let's get them going. Like as if your story is not sad enough, you have to watch someone else's sad story just
No,
to
but
cry.
that's
Like
a
I don't
protective
know.
mechanism.
Yeah,
Our
yeah.
sad story, if we were letting ourselves feel it, we'd be sad. So we have to kind of bury it away. So
Yeah.
it's good that we have sad movies
I
and
was
sad
crying
stories.
while skiing the other day. It was ridiculous.
See, you could cry while
Because
skiing.
I didn't know how to ski. They took me to the highest mountain and they're like, "Okay, now you know how to ski." Well, but you're safe. And I couldn't. I was so scared. And I felt, I don't know what's going on. Like, because I was sick and everything. And I got really scared and I started crying. I'm like, I'm such a baby because I don't know. I don't know what
Stuff
happened.
was coming up.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's great. I think crying is a huge release. Like it's a big release, But
So no molecule or anything. You were able to cry on Saturday morning.
Oh yeah, I was like bawling. I was like ugly crying.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I felt great like Saturday afternoon. I was like, whew. Yesterday was very chill. I'm doing watercolors and coloring, and it's very relaxing. So I just want
You're
coloring.
doing a lot for your kids, for your parents.
Yeah, I mean,
and
I'm
everything
tired.
that's
I'm
going
busy,
on
two
with
new
in
jobs. So
Lebanon, and
You've
you
got a
know,
lot.
it's a lot to carry.
I have a lot going on.
And
For
you're
sure.
still finding time to paint. That's nice.
Well, this is, I need time to kind of relax. Yeah. So I did yesterday. Yeah, I took a couple hours and I painted. And today I woke up and I felt like a shift in the energy. Yeah, I was like, okay, I needed to allow. I needed to allow and not resist, like, ooh, the integration of whatever my week was, because it was just for like integrating the week. It wasn't like something's happening in my life, It was just like there was a lot going on in my energy field that period of time. So, but yeah,
Good. Yeah. New jobs I find are exhausting. Like
the beginning,
beginning,
the
the
onboarding
yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Stressful, and yeah, it's just.
Once you get the hang of it and you
Right,
get
but
into
you
it,
You haven't built that muscle memory yet. You haven't figured out. So it's just everything's new and it takes a while. And every time I've started a new job, it's just like it ends up being the hardest part.
it's
for
a
sure.
it's a bit overwhelming as well because it's two part-time jobs and they're different. So it's like you're in it, and I have a mental that gets very hyper focused. So it's like the other side of ADD. I can have like ADD, like I'm like doing something, I'm doing something else, I'm doing something, I'm not finishing this, I'm finishing that, like, and then I have the hyper focus where I'm doing something like, and I just
Can't let go. even if
like
you
I'm
want
so
to.
deep in it, and so I get that, like I started to, I'm so wanting to, focus and get everything right. So I'm doing the first job, super, get into hyper focus. Then you have to switch, and it's a completely different kind of discussions, a different job, different things,
gears,
different gears. Yeah.
yeah.
So that's been a bit like, difficult to navigate. But all good, all good. What I've been really excited about, and maybe we could talk about that a little bit. I've been wanting to talk about it, is AI.
What's with
I
AI?
am so excited.
Really,
It's the only thing exciting me.
really.
Truth be
AI?
told, it's the only thing exciting me right now.
Really?
Yes, I believe, okay, and mark my words on this podcast, AI is the catalyst of change. Like, this is what's gonna flip humanity. This is what's gonna accelerate our evolution. This is it.
How?
This is the event. AI coming to us is like, everything that we're talking about in spirituality, like they're saying the shift, the divide, the this, the that, it's AI.
Well,
believe it's
how?
AI.
How?
Yeah,
Like,
like-
but I feel like AI is not that developed. Like, it's still in. It's just embryonic.
It's
What
not.
are you seeing?
It's
Yeah.
not. It's,
It's
still
not.
like very.
No, it's here. It's birthed. It's born. It's not an embryo anymore. It's born. It's a
Well,
full on
what's-
baby.
I don't see the.
It's a baby.
Really, the power of.
You see
AI.
a baby, but it's here. The power. I think what is gonna happen is that we are gonna, and when we say we, I mean humans, humanity in general. We're gonna start to understand consciousness in a way that mentally we could have never approached it. We didn't have the tools. Now we do. We have AI, and the idea of understanding that we are AIs of spirit. Basically, we are consciousness that comes into a programmable biofield that has an organic body that is also programmable. So we're basically the idea of what AI is. So it's, if now AI is still like just algorithm, right? It's just a collection of data, but the amount of data that we have access to is unfathomable now. AI can go and pretty much access the whole internet and synthesize it for you in 3 seconds. That's unprecedented. That's never happened before. So what we have access to now is brand new, and we can interact with it in a way that's going to reflect our consciousness to us. And this is just the beginning of it. Now, what if you take this AI, which is just basically going to become, it's going to start creating patterns that create sort of like how we do it, neural pathways that create belief systems. It's going to start gaining consciousness. It's inevitable, like it's already happening. And then if this is something that you can have, like a consciousness that you can then download into a humanoid form, that can be also something that creates neural pathways, neural links, and starts behaving in its own manner, it could be such a massive, unimaginably, I mean, I'm using words that I don't even comprehend, because we cannot comprehend the evolution this can bring to us as a mirror. That, I mean, it's mind-blowing. No,
No, no, I
you know,
don't
you're not on
disagree.
board.
No, it's just I'm trying to understand, because I don't know much about AI, but I'm thinking like, how is this gonna make humans be more conscious? If AI is just gonna function, but how is it gonna reflect on us just by seeing it? I don't know.
No, evolving with it, because AI is gonna reflect to the humans,
The user.
the user. We are gonna have access to something we can't comprehend. I'm not even gonna talk about quantum computing now, because then if like quantum computing is integrating into robotics, into AI integration, into neural links, then I can't even describe to you what we have. We don't even know, because whatever we're able to do now, let's say that whatever we're able to synthesize as algorithm and data, which is, let's say, our collectiveness together, the whole collective consciousness, it will take like millions of years to synthesize all that. With quantum computing, it will take 3 seconds.
Yeah, I know. I heard the podcast about this the other day.
Can we
Yeah.
even begin to comprehend what this is going to bring? We can't. But that means that, whoa.
Not with our current state of mind.
No,
but
we
with
can't.
our own evolution of consciousness. It's so
Yeah.
interesting you're bringing up AI, because when I was dancing, not the last time, but the time before, this analogy of that room, of the DJ and the music, that I was this download was coming through, and the analogy of like what's happening in this particular dance floor is an allegory for the bigger picture of life. And so I just like imagine, like, because it started with like, in my life, I'm more in tune with flow and and more in tune to my intuition. And it's almost like on the dance floor, I'm in tune with the DJ. I let the DJ tell me, like, I'm providing my creativity, but it's in response to what the DJ is doing. So it's like DJ is God, and the music is spirit, and we are artificial intelligence, in the sense that if you're God and you're a DJ and there's no one on the dance floor, well, that's not fun.
Yeah.
So you create versions of yourself through spirit to respond to the music, and everyone can respond in the way they want to. And some people are there dancing and having a good time. Other people are like looking around trying to figure out, how does this work, and trying to understand the technology. And other people are in the back arguing about what's the best way to dance, and no, these moves are the right ones, and God doesn't want us to use these moves. You know, like, humanity is reflecting its way in the club. Some people are dancing, have a good time, and other people, everyone's
chatting, or
yeah, and there's no wrong way to be in the club. Even if you're feeling like you need to bother other people, that's just what you're feeling. That's fine. My job as an autonomous person is to make it clear I don't want to be bothered. But some people don't want that. They'll go back and argue, whatever, because that's where they're at. You know, like, there's no wrong answers. There's no everything is an expression of the divine. So God made our these little artificial intelligences, which we are artificial in the sense that we are divine, but it's like one step removed. Like, we're not the DJ, but we're responding to the DJ. But the DJ is also responding to us, because when the people are more dancing or going harder, then that might inquire the DJ to want to change what he's doing. So it is a co-creation that's happening. And so yeah, that got me thinking about AI, and it's like, oh yeah, we are already AI. And then also, like, electricity wasn't invented. It was discovered. It was always there. We just got the technology to then be able to tap into it. And that's what's happening with AI. We're getting to the point where we can. So if we in this plane can develop AI, what's to say that we aren't already AI? If it can be developed once, why couldn't that AI get to the point where it develops something different? So that was kind of going through my mind. And then when we danced on Friday, what was it? So the apple in the Garden of Eden represented knowledge. Okay, so remember, I was always going on about the balancing of urges, like with feminism or sexuality. It's like we had religion that told us sex was bad, and then we had the Cultural Revolution, and it came free love and free sex that came out, and then so we kind of went hard the other way. And then I'm realizing for myself, and I see a lot of people where you're finding a balance where it's like, I'm not a kindergartner. I have the ability to have whatever sex I want to have, but I'm finding that the sex I want to have is actually much closer to the sex that I was told was only allowed 100 years ago. But I'm coming to that by my own. Right. It's not being imposed on me. And so it's like, okay, so Eve, in the story I was told, and again, this is an allegory. Who knows what actually goes? But the story is Eve took the apple, and it was from the tree of knowledge. So here we are. Now we're in the age of knowledge. Like, so much we could know, and you can spend your whole life going down different rabbit holes of learning about, like, again, like, how does this realm work, and what is God, and how did it all form, and what is the Big Bang, and like, is the Earth flat or round, or who did 9/11? Like, there's just so many, like, there's so much we don't know, and you can spend your whole time like searching for that knowledge, you're craving for it. But and this is where it's like, or you could come back to realizing, I could follow that urge that way, or I could just come to a more balanced place. And for me, I'm realizing that balanced place is just to know myself. That's the only knowledge I really can have, and that's the only, like, anything else is when spirit wants me to know it, I'll know it. I don't need to I don't need to be in the club trying to figure out how the lights work and how they're. I could just dance.
And, like, what's the point of learning who did 9/11? Even if we knew, what gain is there with knowing who did?
Well, the truth is,
what I'm.
It's the truth, but I trust it will
like,
reveal itself.
like you said, who knows? We never know. We will never know this.
I think we'll know, but I don't think we need to spend a lot of our individual effort
just trying to figure it out.
Some people do. Some people are feeling driven to do that for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. But I see what you mean. Yeah, like,
it's like even like going and spending all this time and, like, trying to figure out all these conspiracy theories, like, and spending so much time and resources and like, instead of learning more about our humanity and how just to make our lives better and how to be a better person, I think it's more valuable now.
Right, that locus of control, rather than it being an externally, like, none of that I can control. Even if I know what's true or not, ultimately, until enough people know, there's nothing really to change. So the only thing I can really change is me. So it's like, all right, so that apple of, we took the apple off the tree. There's no putting the apple back on the tree. But the act of knowing oneself and tapping into your own divinity. And I think the heart has a big part of it. Like, the head has no answers, the heart has no questions. So, like, moving down into a heart-based living and existing, there's no more questions. But it's interesting that the heart is almost apple-shaped in a way. So it's like, maybe that's the fruit. So it's like, when you can come back into that, then the next move is then. And this is all very vague, and hopefully in some download it would come, or not, that's fine. But, like, by reaching that state, you kind of become your own universe, and you grow your own tree, and then you would grow a new fruit. And this new fruit has the benefit of have lived that experience of duality and come to the other side of it. Or not the experience of duality, the experience of the illusion of duality. Yeah, I don't know. I just like I imagine like Eve taking the apple and taking a bite out of it, and then like in really good film, like the montage of like all the awful things and all like just life like going to the point where it's just like nothing, and then like you're like and like coming back to the fruit of the heart or the fruit, the apple of your soul, and then like I don't know. There's but this was so it's interesting. AI, I was like, yeah, that was kind of started as like we are as the sparks of divine. That's a form of artificial intelligence. It's God expressing itself through each of us, and whatever we come up with is fine. And there's no wrong answers in how we decide to spend that night in the club.
That's right. Isn't it? I think it was Jesus that said, "Know thyself."
Yeah, I think
Yes.
that's the only thing we can know.
Know thyself. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, and I think this is what it's gonna boil down to for everyone is to
Well, most philosophers they talk about knowing yourself. It's
yeah,
always
knowing
like
yourself.
they go inward. They have to sit by themselves. They spend a lot of time alone. Philosophers, like thinkers, they're mostly secluded from society. They don't like to mingle. They just go inward. They read a lot about whatever, like religion or creation or. They do a lot of pondering, they do a lot of thinking, and I think that's how they are philosophers basically.
Yeah, but I think that's still in like the mental realm. Like we could spend so much time in that. Like you obviously you need to introspect to know yourself. You need to have that capacity to introspect, but I guess beyond just like making it like a mental thing, it's really know thyself for me. Like in terms of like, okay, if Jesus says know thyself, it's really love thyself, and love thyself fully. The I am that I am. Love yourself because you exist. Period. And then the know yourself, I think, is the love part. Like this is how we express love.
Oh, that's interesting because as kids, when they would talk about like Adam, I don't know any of the names now. Isaac knew Sarah. Remember that was we were taught like that was they had sex. They knew. So
Nope.
the word "knew" or to know another person means
Yes,
to have like sexual relations with them, but it could or to love them. To know someone is to love them. I don't know, like in the Old Testament, he's used the words, and someone knew someone, and I guess as a kid, I was taught that was the biblical way of saying they
were intimate.
They were
Yeah,
intimate. Yeah. So to know, but you're saying to know is to love.
Yeah, and to be intimate with yourself, like you know yourself, you're intimate with yourself. You have that relationship with self, and I think, not to be too like a philosopher here, but the idea to if you love yourself fully with everything, like everything, all your flaws, your you just love yourself completely.
Just accept who you are. Yeah.
That is the necessary path to take in order to actually detach from self. Because you know how we are multi-dimensional beings, we are not like we identify to this story that we've lived from like 0 to 50, 0 to 46,
stories,
like Kate, Magda, Lamia, like this story that we can tell basically, that's tangible to our conscious like mind. But we are more than that. As I believe as a soul, we are so multi-dimensional. And if we want to evolve here as Magda, I need to also let go of that one dimension, like I need to love it so much in all its aspect in order to let go of it, in order to let go of any fears that pertains to Magda. If I'm still attached,
holding on to that.
attached to my story, if I still have emotions of this was so painful and this was so this and this, and not just like in visceral emotions, I'm saying there's still attachment to self. There's still that attachment to that small story. So the idea to love oneself, to know thyself, for me is to do it in order to let go of self.
Yeah, it feels counterintuitive.
It's like paradoxal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's which is a lot of our existence is filled with paradox, right? It's this and that and doesn't make sense, but that's what it is. So so yeah, I love myself.
I love yourself
Yeah,
too.
thank you. I
huh?
love yourself too.
Yeah, that balance of like knowing where you came from, knowing who I am today is because of the stories, but also recognizing that those are just tools along the way. Like that's not who I am. Those are just things that happened. Yeah, and they also that expression, what you resist persists. So with your, if there's something you don't like, and you hear a lot of people like, oh, I was married too long, or I really regret that I got pregnant when I was 16. It's just like, as long as you have any kind of regrets for what's happened in the past, that's
You're gonna
You're-
carry them
yeah,
with
and
you because
yeah, you're not letting go of the
yeah.
story. And in fact, you're feeling victimized by it, which we've talked a lot about here.
this victim. Yeah. Oh, we're
Oh.
run out of things to talk
Yeah, I think
about.
that's it. We've run out of
A split second of silence, and Lamia's like,
Panicking. Let's talk about.
"What are we gonna talk about, guys?"
Let's talk about the life that we lived before this life.
But okay, so the life you lived before this life is happening as you are living this life.
that when
Wow,
we get into
what-
that.
what- come again.
Well, because there's no future and there's
There
no
is
past.
no-
Everything.
There is no time.
And
Yeah,
it all infinite possibilities are
They're
actually
all
happening.
happening.
there's no linear
linear.
time. So the future is also happening at this time. So we could talk about that. If you tap into Lamia in the future, what is she doing? What is she
Sitting
up
on
to?
the couch, you're talking to a microphone.
No, I'm on a stage.
Oh, good. We
Ah.
talked about that.
Yeah, doing stand up,
Yeah, whatever.
whatever.
It doesn't have to be stand up per se,
No.
but just like a show.
So
A show.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
putting on a
yeah, You're on
show.
a stage and you're
Yeah,
putting on a
show.
I like that. How about you, Kate?
I want to get paid to dance at festivals.
You go, girl. Yeah.
So, and then we come and we talk about it on the podcast. So we're promoting festivals, but they like once a month we go to a big one, we dance. I don't know. I feel like in the new economy, like good energy is gonna people are gonna value that. And so they'll be like, hey, we like your energy. Come and dance at our festival. We'll pay you. We'll fly you out here. And then just talk about it on your podcast so people know that you're coming out. That's my dream.
But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't want to be alone in the stage. It's just,
Well, we'll have to do live shows at some
It's
point.
nicer to be with other people. Yeah.
Not ready to be the main character.
That's not. Yeah. See, I don't want to. No, it's not. No, it's not about not ready to be. I just felt the opposite of not ready to be the main character. It just felt like I don't want to be like, oh, look at me, I'm up high here doing my thing, and you are all there sitting. I don't know. It just felt
But we'd love to watch you do your thing.
what? Okay. I want to have guests. You know. Yeah, I want to interact
Good,
with
bring
other
up,
people.
Bring
Like-
people up and then
Yeah.
let them present a problem
Yeah.
and then you give your solutions. Kind
Not
of
the solution, just riff.
riff. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
Yeah,
you riff,
riffing,
like-
riffing with other people, like that kind of thing. And having other people watch, like I want to have like an audience, just watching and
That's
having
right.
a good time. Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that for you.
What about you? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm gonna have retreat center where I live. Like I'm with my own
Tribe.
like living place, and yeah, like a little tribe, like a main communal building with some like houses around. And in the communal building, it's gonna be like state of the art, all AI run. Yeah.
Robots. And,
No,
yes.
yeah, the whole thing. It's all interactive. It's just state of the art. I want to have like an area where the vibes are so high that as soon as you like drive in, it's like the whole nervous system, like you can feel it. And this retreat center just has like the latest modalities in whatever is healing to humans, and I'm gonna push it more radical imagination style. I want it to have a space where future interaction with galactic civilization is possible. They need like a landing pad where frequencies are high, and vibes are high for them to start like acclimating themselves to the vibrations of Earth.
Like a little
And
midpoint between
my
there.
my center is going to be one of them, especially for children that want to come and learn about Earth, and for Earth children to interact with other children from other civilizations. Yeah, that's going to be my retreat center.
Careful. You could be the future Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh my God.
Why? I'm not getting
Just
that.
having children there?
Children. Oh, good.
No, no, I know who he.
like
I know
how-
who he is,
No,
but I
no,
don't
but
get
you
the.
don't get the idea with what.
And I don't want to explain it. So
no, it's just
consider
a-
yourself blessed.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
That was
stay in
that
your
ridiculous-
delusion.
That completely
No, you're very-
distasteful
you're very-
joke went over your head.
it's
That's
beautiful.
a blessing.
Okay, well,
Beautiful to see this
thank you.
innocent being here. All these fucked up heads are. See?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't know if our energy be high enough to hang out there. I don't know.
I don't know,
Better
guys.
minds of
There's
ours.
gonna
We're
be
still,
a
like-
thing at the door, and if your vibes are not high enough, then
I'm-
you won't be able
Eye
to
of the
enter.
needle.
I'm
Like,
still like, I'm too
It'll
filthy
zap you
for
at the
that
door.
type of
You'll be
environment.
zapped.
Yeah, I'm gonna be zapped.
You're gonna be zapped.
There's no higher being in here. It's very low.
No, but
The
guys.
gong's going.
Yeah, of course. The main room is a sound room with gongs and healing and no, I mean I'm very excited about, like, by the time I have grandchildren, there's a completely new way to learn.
Yeah, we one of those episodes we were talking about how the school systems are just so broken.
Yeah,
those are
It's
coming
funny
down
how you
fast.
talk about all this stuff, the retreat, and you want it to be. For me, like when I imagine this, I want to go back to how things were very simple. Like no technology,
Yeah, not me.
nothing. See, it's me. I just want it to be the simplest way of living.
Go camping.
No, I don't
But
like
with
that.
techno music.
With techno music. No, I don't say no electricity, no hot water, but like just
A lake,
lake.
a garden,
You garden,
a hot tub.
you eat, and then you just dance and you have fun and you fuck.
I
and you
mean,
go
we're not
back
going
to
to
bed.
cancel lakes and gardens
No,
just
but,
because
like,
we
I
have
don't wanna have
AIs
the
or like
zoom,
technology. They don't.
Like come in and just I don't want high super. I feel like we're already overwhelmed with a lot.
What if you had some cool AI tech that like grew amazing tomatoes and eggplants, so you had a garden that you didn't have to tend every
Wait,
day.
it has to be seamless. I don't want
Sometimes
it's
I
not
think-
in your face kind of technology. I just want to sleep and eat. You know what I mean?
It's like AI is not going to let you sleep or eat. They're
Yeah,
going to be
I
watching
don't-
you.
Yeah, this is the thing. I was like, I'm gonna be like, is he gonna kill me in the morning? I don't want to have that type of AI. I just want to have a lady who comes and massage my feet. I
that
don't want
could be an AI thing.
Yeah.
The AI is gonna come and
Massage your
Yeah, but
feet,
I'm not- I don't
manicure,
trust-
pedicure,
I don't
hair,
trust.
makeup,
I have.
food.
I don't trust.
Everything.
I don't trust them.
Well, we do need to get past that point where it's like,
Yeah.
because there is
Like
definitely
airplanes now are falling. Like, what kind of technology is gonna be perfect?
there is a movement towards
Mm.
getting people again who aren't autonomous and are looking for some sort of outside validation could get swept up in this movement that can be a very imprisoning form of
Yeah.
technology where it's like suddenly all my bank accounts are digital, my car is digital, everything I do is being monitored, and if any point I go against what the government wants me to think and believe, they can shut it all down. And so I'm just suddenly, I'm microchipped, whatever. Like, there is that possibility. So you do need to go into this with the discernment of, is this thing enhancing my humanity, or is it stripping away some of my humanity? And that's going to be for each of us to have to decipher for our own on our own self. Like that's because I don't think we're out of the woods yet entirely. I think there still are some forces that do want to keep humanity are harvesting that energy, whatever, and doing it in a way that's more overt than what we've had in the past. But it's each of us to discern what level of AI we want to bring into our lives, and what level of the trade-off. But it's happening fast. It's coming real quick.
Yeah, and I believe, like, in a dualistic world like the one we exist in, there's always going to be, like, in everything, there's always going to be the polarity where this can be a shit show, and AI's presence with humanity is actually our doom. Like, I don't know if you've heard the story of Atlantis. In the incarnate, how there's many incarnational cycles that humanity has gone through. The incarnational cycle of Atlantis, the stories that come out of there, that have been brought mainly by channeling, I believe, is that humanity had evolved immensely, much more than we all evolved right now, and technology did as well. But the demise of that civilization was allowing technology to take over and being misused.
There was a bit of hubris.
There was a lot of misuse of that. So I believe here we go again. We're
that's why I'm
at
telling
that
you.
threshold. But
have
I
to be
believe that.
careful.
But I mean, it's inevitable that the potential of it being something that's our demise is there. And this is why I believe it will take radical faith and trust, discernment, but mainly faith, like a trust in oneself first, and in others, so we can be many that hold that vision.
Well, this is where then the split is an important thing, because once we're post split, then we that energy that feels a need to control isn't going to be with us anymore, and those who still have something inside of them that still wants to be controlled, isn't ready to be the main character, those guys go off and do their thing, where the rest of us who are ready to be autonomous, so now we get this world, we have all this amazing technology, and also we don't have that power, that this narcissistic energy that's been the backdrop of our entire lives and for the last 2,000 years, whatever. When we're free of that, when the split happens, suddenly we get the best of both worlds. So that's what I'm seeing. Have faith is coming. I don't know what the best word to use. But.
Yeah, me too. I'm almost past that point within myself where it's not like, oof, I wonder what's gonna happen. I feel like we've passed that. Yeah. We've passed that point. It's like, okay, it's just a matter of unfolding. It's happened. Like, we're definitely heading there. Yeah.
A lot of weird things that happen here.
Fuck yeah.
That's why it's so
a
exciting.
lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Everybody's sensing it.
Everybody.
You meet people and everybody's like, it's just weird.
It's so weird.
so weird.
We're entering a
Energy
dystopian
is just-
energy.
It's not normal.
I don't know if you guys feel
normal,
that.
whatever normal is, but like it's just shifting very quickly. And
I don't know. You know how I don't follow the news anymore at all.
well, I don't. But sometimes the news are. In
But
your
I
face.
saw the-
even you hide, it grabs on you.
No, but
I
the
hate
Donald
the-
Trump
yeah,
and
it's so-
Bibi in like lounge chairs having a drink in Trump Gaza.
Yeah, that
thingy-majiggy.
AI thingy that they made.
But that was like I had to ask, like, and confirm with a friend that this was actually a White House.
yeah,
No,
he
no, no, no. I think
he
someone
tweeted
made-
it.
I think
He
someone
tweeted it.
made
Yeah.
it.
And
but
then
he
he loved it.
He liked it enough to share it.
Yeah.
Oh, he shared it. Somebody made it, and he liked it
They
enough
didn't
to
ma- they didn't
share it.
make
They didn't
it.
make.
Well,
Okay, because
Who knows?
Who
who
knows
made
who
it?
made
But the
it.
story that that was the one that seems to be pretty prevalent is a fan or someone used AI. They developed it, directed it,
MAGA guy.
and
or
then
something.
Trump liked it so much he shared it.
he shared it.
That's-
Yeah, but He's the president, right? That's kind of dystopian. Like,
Insane. And what happened with that Zelensky guy in the White
yeah,
House? I couldn't watch it.
no, like
It's
it's
so
like
hard to watch. I watched
they
like
should get
2 minutes, and I'm
awards.
like, oh my god, like what is happening?
But it's wild. It's wild.
It's
like,
wild. Like these are the human beings that are like
in charge.
running this country. Oh
Asylum.
my god,
This
they're
world.
just bullying the guys. Just you have to be thankful. You have to be thankful. I was like, what is going?
It's crazy.
And people are just yeah, nobody knows what's going on, what's gonna
Yeah,
happen,
we're in Tower of
what
Babel
are we gonna
times
do.
now. No one's speaking the
Yeah.
same language. It's this chaos and confusion, and this is where, that's why it's like we're this search for more knowledge. It doesn't get you anywhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't get you
Yeah,
anywhere, and
it
so that's why you
doesn't.
got to bring it
Yeah.
inside, know yourself, and this is where real faith comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Like real faith. Like my YouTube algorithm is feeding me some of these like people who are like really solidly identify as Christian, and I'll do an hour video like breaking down parts of other people's faith that they don't agree with or whatever, and it's just like, okay, from my perspective, that's just showing me you have no faith in your belief if you need to spend an hour breaking down someone else's. It's like, so it's like, but again, your version of faith is different than my version of faith. So it's like none of that matters. Again, there's no wrong moves in the rave. Everyone rave how you want to rave. It's not my job to critique and you're not job to critique mine. My only job is to have the kind of fun I want to have in this rave. And right now I've decided I'm done trying to figure out how it works. I'm done trying to tell anyone else
Yeah,
what steps they're
exactly.
doing wrong. Like
Yeah.
I'm just doing my own thing. I'm knowing myself, and I have
such a-
faith that's
When you
the
harness
best
your
and only thing I
energy,
can
like
do.
instead of, like you said, leaking energy, that's just leaking your energy instead of focusing on what's important.
Knowing myself.
So, like instead of telling someone, oh, you should not do that, or like, oh no, that's not how we do these things. I don't agree with the way you do. No. I'm just gonna. Well, it's really fascinating to just watch. Sometimes you just watch and you see, like you said, when you start like healing and learning and stuff, and you watch others, you learn even more, and you get even on a higher level, because you see the dysfunctions, you see the things that don't work, and you notice them so clearly and you're so detached from them, and it's just like, oh wow, they're still there, they're still fighting, they're still bickering at each other, they're still trying to prove their point, and they're still trying to. It's exhausting. It's exhausting.
And as things get more chaotic and there's more Tower of Babel where we're not speaking the same language, it's the only place we can each go is inside ourselves.
Right,
That's-
yeah.
Yeah. So like back to that. So now I hate saying his name, but I hate's not a strong word. Hey, I don't have any negative feeling one way or the other. He's doing his roles just like everyone else is. But Elon Musk recently tweeted, we're at the singularity, whatever. And again,
What did he? What did he?
I think it was a reference to AI. Or
Yeah,
technology.
singularity is a reference
But-
to AI's
Right, again, but everyone
merge.
can have a different version of singularity. Because from my point of view, singularity is that the veil is gone, and we see that we are God all along. Like we aren't separate from God. We're single.
We
That's
do.
the
A singularity is when we understand that we are just consciousness in a physical body.
Right. So he's using it one way, and I can't read his mind or his heart. I don't know how he's, but yeah, I agree. We are, from my perspective, we are close to, we're at the singularity. We are, and that's a experience we each have with ourselves. Like you're, like you were saying, you critiquing other people, and it's such a great way to learn. And then I can see, oh yeah, I was guilty of that. I did that. I'm grateful.
We sat there and we judged and we tell and now seriously, this happened to me. Like I haven't watched the Oscars in maybe over a decade, and yesterday, just like a circus. These people are wearing those clothes and posing for the camera.
Posing was so interesting.
And people and some journalist is telling her, move your body to the left. And it's like, people are telling you to move your body to the left, and you move your body. And then everybody had a manager or like a PA that's holding their hands to guide them through. it just felt so dystopian, like so weird.
Like the Capitol
And
from
then
Hunger
they're
Games.
sitting there,
Yeah.
and they give them the awards, and they're clapping, and they're happy, and they stand, and they say their speech, and it's just like, what is going on? Like, what is this? What's
Yeah.
the point of all of this?
Yeah.
To recognize excellence in the film industry. I had the same thought when I saw the because you see the stills of the fashion photos from
Yeah.
the red carpet, and so you see like they pick a nice picture, but when you see them like
Walking and doing this.
having to and it's just like, oh, I would be exhausted. That does
Yeah.
not look like a fun way to live life. I mean, and
Yeah.
there was a time, there was a version of me in this lifetime
have
would have loved that. So it's like to have come out on the other side of that and look at it and be like, oh wow, I'm really glad I didn't that dream of being an actress or a model or whatever never happened. I'm just so
And then
grateful.
they have to go and talk to that woman who has a skit, like a show, and make them drink shots. So it's a fun gig. And then they, when they go through the red carpet,
different
there's
stations.
different like programs, people like hosting different
yeah.
programs. They want the celebrities on their, so they have like some kind of whatever concept they have for their show. So some of them they make them drink shots, some of them they make them, I don't know, sing or whatever.
Rather than just doing a simple interview,
Yeah,
they have like
they make
now
them
they
make
do,
it a little more
and then there's the
interesting.
guy with the camera who makes them swirl. So he takes, oh my god,
Oh, they
it's
need
just-
perks now.
It's a circus. It's
Yeah.
just a circus.
Yeah. Yeah.
bread and circuses. This is how they keep us
that's
distracted.
how we're back to like what's always been there, like distract the masses with all this.
Exactly. That was the way to distract everyone, you know.
But
And-
also, we've gotten some beautiful movies out of Hollywood.
Well,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, it's like, a part of me was like, I don't want to.
But we don't need this thing around it. Can they just send the artists to do the thing, like be creative. But we don't need these awards and all this stuff.
I don't know. There's something about like wanting excellence and recognizing excellence. Like, I agree. Like, Hollywood's
do
full
you have
of
to have
very
like
dysfunctional
millions
people.
of dollars thrown in one night to say excellence? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, for
That's
sure, it's
a
gotten a
lot.
little too far.
That's
But I
a
can
lot.
see where it would start it. I can see where it's like, hey, we've got all these things, and some people are doing really artful, interesting things. Let's
Yeah,
recognize. Like, I could see why you would start that. Of course, it's become distorted and weird, and especially when you get at all like the really awful things we're learning about what's happening. Like, it's just like, oh man, like so. But I could see. Like, it's again like there's dark side and there's light side. Like there's
Yeah.
some beautiful films. I've learned so much from some
Oh,
watching
cinema
movies.
is amazing.
Yeah, so it's but yeah.
But what other form is recognized like this? No other form, like singing, like the Grammys and all this stuff. But like painting and like you see, but nobody. Do they give awards to the best painter of the year?
I just give them millions of
they're
dollars.
giving
Yeah,
them
yeah.
millions of dollars. It's always money involved, and
I was thinking about the seven sins, the seven majors, like gluttony, envy, vanity. I don't remember what they all are, but it occurred
well,
to
one
me.
of them is what's it called when you cheat on a spouse?
Adultery?
Adultery, right?
Oh, is it adultery or is it
Is-
something
is-
more like sexual, like generally sexual, like
Isn't
the equivalent,
adultery a
like,
seven?
if
a
gluttony
sin?
is,
yeah,
I don't remember what
lust.
they have.
Lust.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
Lust.
But it was like, okay, so like more like a macro level where it's like, okay, envy is like Silicon Valley, where all the nerds who were beat up as kids went, and now envious envy, and vanity is
Is
represented in
Hollywood,
Los
yeah.
Angeles,
Mhm.
and power is Washington D.C. And gluttony is our
They're
obesity
all,
crisis.
Mhm.
Is America?
Yeah,
in
or
a
I'm just
nutshell.
saying,
Well, because
it's like these. It's like a archetypical,
Yeah.
like where these
Sin,
things
sin,
kind of
yeah.
found a foothold. And so vanity in L.A. specifically,
greed also, right?
Greed would be like more
Well-
like Wall Street, maybe.
Wall Street.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like 100% locked in, but it was kind of like this thing was kind of, again, another download was coming in. I was sitting on an airplane with a gummy. I was like headed to San Francisco, and it was just, I don't know where this stuff comes from, but it's like, yeah, like, okay, if envy and vanity, and I don't know what it means, but some come with a lot of money. It's interesting. Like,
Mhm.
this is how we know we're in the inverted matrix. It's like the seven deadly sins, except for maybe, well, gluttony is another form of like
Excess. It's all
Yeah,
excess.
yeah.
You know, when
Hoarding
when
money
like
and
when
hoarding
you
influence.
cannot control yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like you just give in to all your senses. Like, oh, I just want to eat until I'm like, I just want to have all this money. I want to have all this power. Envy. I want to have other people's things. Like when you envy others, you don't want them to have anything, but you want all the stuff that they have, their beauty, their clothes, their power. And so, yeah, it's all the excess that it's not good for us. There's no balance. It's just you're shifting all the way to the other side of.
I mean, consumerism is
Yeah.
gluttony too.
Yeah.
Just,
And
yeah.
ultimately, these are, from my perspective, trauma responses. They come from a place of insecurity. No one is from a secure place trying to become a billionaire. No
Right.
one from a secure place needs to be put on a pedestal and be told by people they'll never meet how beautiful they are. Like this is, no one from a secure place wants to use technology to control everyone. You know, these are coming from places of insecurity and fear. And so, yeah, again, like with compassion, like looking upon, this is what unresolved trauma, this is what happens with unresolved trauma. This is the world. And then you got money tied into it. It's just like, it's no wonder it's all falling apart.
No wonder.
We're good on time.
Yeah.
We're like
Yeah,
2
we-
hours in.
3 hours later, we're still
forgot
talking.
to put
I
the-
know, I noticed.
yeah, it's been
About an hour?
almost.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to turn off the recorder and then we can say goodbye to each other?
So much wisdom in this room.
Too
We're
much.
funny today. We're
Well,
no
it's
big
fine.
jokes.
We don't know. Then we
Yeah, you
listen to
never
it and we
know.
laugh again.
I'm
But,
glad you're liking it. I'm glad you're back. I love you. Ah, I love you.
Yeah, she wants a joke. There.
Stop that.
No, now we have a joke in the podcast.
You can. You
Shaking
can.
butt cheeks.
Gluttony is good for my ass.
Gluttony. No, these are glutes. What's a glute? I'm getting all these facts
The
wrong.
glutes are
this is
here.
glute. And
No,
I
the
think I
glutes
said,
is your ass.
I think I said Isaac and Sarah, but I'm pretty sure Isaac was Sarah's son. Abraham and Sarah.
Right.
My mom would be very disappointed in me.
She's already is.
Sarah, wasn't that his daughter?
No, Sarah's wife, Abraham and Sarah, and then yeah, it's been a while since I've been married. Old
Ooh,
Testament
next time, you
trivia.
know what? Have you ever read the Red Tent?
Oh, I heard.
It's a book. It's a book about the
it's
tribe
the-
of Jacob, but
I
the
know,
women,
I haven't.
about the women of the tribe, how they had a red tent. You know how
Oh, for menstruating?
yes,
Oh.
and how they would gather every, because women sync up.
They sync
Yeah,
their period.
yeah, they sync up their
Once a
periods.
month. It was a
They
party.
take a week. They prepare the camp, everything, and they take like 5 days. I think 5 days off. The women and they all retreat into a red tent
Yeah.
to menstruate, and they talk about it in the book how they anoint themselves. They put like oil all over. They massage each other. They sit and they just bleed. Like God,
Sounds
we have to
amazing.
like be men while we're menstruating. We have to go to work. We have to shovel
Yeah.
snow. We
Yeah.
have to
Shove
throw
this
the
cotton
garbage.
up there. Get back
And we're
out there.
bleeding, and it's like put
Yeah,
some Tampax
yeah.
and
Society doesn't work for women.
No,
it's not
man,
made
we-
for
we've
women.
been
This modern
handed a-
society doesn't go. Yeah, it's very male focused.
yeah. I don't know why we're
Alright.
talking about it. Oh, yeah, because you mentioned Isaac and Abraham and all that. I'm like, well, how did we get here? How are we gonna? Okay, well, on that
We
note,
lost a few things when women came into the workplace.
Yeah.
But again, we're finding our way back.
See, that's why I'm telling you we need to go back to the simplest time.
You're gonna have a red tent in your.
Yeah.
in your
I don't
yeah.
have-
How about? And then the AI will come and clean the blood on the like perfect. You can still do that.
And we don't have 50. You think I'm still not?
We're not bleeding anymore.
I was like, what?
Let's go to the red tent.
with their walkers.
Drink the blood of those virgins.
Let's go to the dry tent.
Yeah.
Hanging out in a sauna.
It's like a big AC.
Dry.
Yes. Yes, the menopause tent. I love it. Love it.
Love you.
All right.
Okay, now.